and welcome back. Okay, let's start with a quick review. The path, meditation, the art of allowing the itch to be. Transmutation, forgive them for they know not the truth, and move on up the circle. Divide and conquer, creates the space you need to see the it in you. The path is the way to enlightenment from a spiritual perspective. Well, one of them anyway. Now I want to give you the way, a path to enlightenment from a secular perspective. Descartes. For those of you who are not familiar with his work, Descartes is the man who coined the phrase, "I think, therefore I am." He was a French philosopher who lived in the 18th century. What he was looking for is something he could know with certainty. What he theorizes, if I take everything I don't know for certain off the table, what's left must be certain. So that's what he did, and he came to the five senses. Can I be certain about what I can see and hear? Then he said, well, if there's this all-powerful evil genius who could trick me into seeing things falsely, for example, leaves on trees appear to be green in summer. How do I know they're green? Maybe the blue and the evil genius is tricking me into thinking they are green. Well, if you say everyone else thinks they're green, what difference does it make? Then Descartes said, well, what if there is no one else, and the evil genius is tricking me into believing that the other people are real by alienating them from himself? So I can't know if you are real. Then Descartes said, well, if the evil genius is tricking me, there must be a me to trick. I must exist. I think, therefore I am. Now, when Descartes talks about thinking, he means any activity of the mind. The act of perceiving a tree would fall under the category of thinking in Descartes' meaning of the word. If he were alive today, he may have said, I am aware, therefore I am. Okay, this is just a gross summary of his work. If you are interested, you can find his work online. Basically, Descartes says that the only thing you can know for certain is that you exist. So the fact that you exist is a fundamental truth of reality. A new truth. I propose that I've come up with another fundamental truth of reality. And that truth is as follows. It is not okay to force someone against their will. As my first proof, I offer your first impression when you read the previous sentence. It passes the smell test. At first blush, it seems reasonable. Now let's test it against the evil genius. So, what is the evil genius? What does he do? He tricks people into believing falsehoods. So could the evil genius be tricking me into believing that a fundamental truth of reality is that it is not okay to force someone against their will? Not likely. It seems to me that he would try and trick me into believing the opposite. The evil genius is about taking people's will, not giving it to them. So now we have passed the evil genius test. We can know for certain that it is a fundamental truth of reality that it is not okay to force someone against their will. The truth shall set you free. What follows? So, if it is a fundamental truth of reality that it is not okay to force someone against their will, then it follows that it must be okay to use force to defend yourself or another against the unauthorized use of force. So it is okay for the police to defend us against the rapist, and it is okay for a father to defend his family. Again, this passes the smell test. It makes sense, and it is logical, and it is in accordance with our natural responses. The false reality. Now it follows that the opposite of our new fundamental truth, to force someone against their will, must be false. Yet it is real. I see it everywhere I look. I see it in everyone, including myself. Now I'm going to borrow Descartes' technique, and I'm going to create the concept of the false reality. To force someone against their will is a fundamental truth of the false reality. The reality we were tricked into creating by the evil genius A little more on the evil genius. Now we can deduce something about the evil genius. It seems to me that if he could act in reality, he would not bother trying to trick you in the first place. We can deduce that he's not capable of acting in the world. He is limited. He is not all-powerful. All he can do is trick you into acting for him. I'm not real. At least you can't know that for certain. Now from your perspective, you can't know if I'm real or not. Let's examine both possibilities. So if I'm not real, then who or what wrote this? If the evil genius is animating me, then did he cause this to come into existence? To become part of your awareness? Based on what we know about the evil genius, it seems to me the last thing he would do would be to trick you into reading this. So if I did not cause this to come into being, and the evil genius did not cause this to come into being, then who or what did? What is more powerful than the evil genius? It follows logically that God must exist, from your perspective, of course. Now let's consider the case where I am real. Is it likely the evil genius tricked me into writing this? Again, not likely. It is likely that he did try to trick me into not writing this, but somehow I managed to put this out anyway. How? Why was I able to overcome the genius? I submit that I had help, and that help came from God. Again, it follows logically that God must exist. We can deduce that God must exist, and that to force someone against their will is not in accordance with God's will. Power. Interesting note about the power of God and the power of the evil genius. Evil genius seeks control and is limited. God gave you free will and is unlimited. Okay, we know that she is more powerful than the evil genius, and that makes her more powerful than I can imagine, so yes, she's unlimited. It follows. Now it follows that it must be a good thing to let go of your need to control others. Now if you let go of your need to control others, the evil genius can no longer use you to effect change in the world. Remember, he is limited. He cannot act directly in the material world. If you cannot effect any change in the world, do you exist in any real way? If you cannot affect the real world, you are just a fiction, a figment of my imagination. This is my final proof. It destroys the fiction of the evil genius. This is only true and certain, right and proper, however, if you let go of your need to control others. Love thy neighbor. Okay, how? I'll tell you. Give him his freedom. Stop trying to control him. Is there a better way to show your neighbor that you love him than by letting go of your need to control him and giving him his freedom? Wait a minute. If you let go of your need to control others and destroy the evil genius, then don't I pop into existence? Remember, what follows is only true and certain if you let go of your need to control others. So the only way to start living in the true reality is to let go of your need to control others and bring everyone with you. Let's sum up. Here we are. God exists. Evil genius has been destroyed. You can be certain that you exist, and that I exist, and that trees really do look green in summer. Woohoo! Trees really are green. The way. Let go of your need to control others. The path to enlightenment from a secular perspective. Let he who is without sin cast the first stone. A bit of wisdom from Jesus Christ. Okay, let's take a break. Let's end with a blessing. The nudge. How are you doing? I'm doing great, and thank you for asking!